We are Performance Pulsation Control, and we manufacture pulsation control products for the oil and gas industry. We were founded and incorporated in 1998, so we've been in business for 22 years. Any company has to have alignment in how you communicate the principles that the company should operate with. It creates a standard, you might say, a principle by which we can communicate. So the journey started with a realization that I needed help. I needed to change the way that I was living my life and being consumed by business. So I was really challenged first by my wife and then by the peer group that I eventually joined to delegate things and start creating alignment with a team. Prior to the key player experience, we were working on alignment, but there was a problem. The problem was I had a toxic environment that I didn't know about. You had one story coming from the general manager and one story eventually coming from the employees. And so that was the last time I ever hired somebody without looking at values. That was a very hard lesson to learn. Well, in order to transition from the toxic situation, there are a lot of changes that had to take place, starting with the general manager and then replacing him with one that was much more engaging, much more honest about their approach to business. And Gary came in and was a strong Christian, a strong manager, a good communicator, and he quickly acclimated to get the group reoriented, repurposed, and engaging in a new way that was much healthier than previously.
John and I have been very intentional from my time of joining PPC to make sure that we get together and are on the same page. So the goal of the meeting is to expose the gaps, achieve alignment, and make sure that we have transparency and that we're all on the same page. If you don't have the roundup meeting, then people are left to draw their own conclusions. And in the absence of facts, there's just perception. And sometimes perception becomes people's realities, and then you have storytelling, and that just disintegrates the culture. So part of our process in making sure that everybody understands what we've discussed, we have what's called cascading messages. So when we have an issue that we need everybody to be aware of, a to-do is assigned to every manager in that meeting to cascade that message to their people.
And so one of the key principles in working correctly is the principle of declare the breakdown. We need to understand where things are not working.
Trust is very important in an organization. And people aren't going to raise their hand and declare a breakdown unless there's some trust. So one of the means that we use to build trust is we tell employees the only thing you're allowed to assume here at PPC is positive intent. So if I assume that the person who I'm going to talk to or the person who's talking to me has good intentions, then I can trust them. And I'm more likely to raise my hand and say, hey, I've got a problem.
So having them participate in management team and the key player process really started the redirection and the true growth of a healthy company.